What's up, everybody? Here with Joe Grinwis, aka Panda, talking Week 11 betting lines. Dude, crazy how just quick this year has flown by. I'm thankful as a Jet fans coming to a close. But how you doing, man?
Doing good. Yeah, it's been a quick year. Bad week last week for me, so looking for a rebound.
Yeah, up and down for me this year. I started strong, had a couple down weeks, and last week was kind of the same, pretty much broke even. But we'll kick it off this week with the Jets coming off their bye week. Plus 9.5 at the Chargers, over under set at 46. Jets secondary is a mess heading into this one. We know the Chargers weapons, they can ball, with Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry as well at tight end. So I love the over in this one, especially with the Jets coming off their bye week. Flacco, he put up 27. Prior to that against the Patriots with all three healthy wideouts. So I think the Jets should be good for at least 20. The Chargers are probably going to top 30. As far as the props go, give me Justin Herbert over 284.5. You also have the Kalen Ballage revenge game over 55.5 yards combined. I think that's a no-brainer for him as well. You can get him for a touchdown and a win combo at plus 140. If you want to get greedy, 2 touchdowns plus 650, I think is kind of intriguing. Also on the Jets side, Denzel Mims, 46.5 yards. I like the over there. And as far as the running backs go, impossible to kind of pick who's going to, be the featured back. But for the first week, P. Ryan's actually predicted to have more yards than Frank Gore. The over/under on P. Ryan's 48.5. Frank Gore's at 32.5. So, possibly some optimism that, P. Ryan's going to get featured this week.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that comes from. I'll believe it when I see it, until they stop giving Frank Gore the ball 20 times a game. We'll see. For this one, I like a same game parlay on FanDuel. It's plus 5,362. I think it's, pretty plausible. Denzel Mims to get his first NFL touchdown. Why not? As well as over 46.5 receiving yards. Kalen Ballage over 55.5 rushing yards. As you said, I think that's a no-brainer. I think that's easy money. You could even play that by itself if you'd like. In his first 2 games with the Chargers, he's had over 65 yards in each of them. So I don't know why it's so low. It's not like the Jets' run defense is any good. Keenan Allen over 80.5 receiving yards as well. I like that, especially with Bless Austin out. Who's going to stop him? I don't think anybody. And the Chargers minus 9.5. And in the beginning of the week, I was going to take the Jets between Darnold out and now losing Austin. I know he's not, Deion Sanders or anything like that, but he's the best corner we had all season, I think, hands down, and it's going to be a blow regardless.
I got screwed. I got screwed picking the Jets 10.5 in one of my parlays earlier in the week, thinking that Darnold might play. So I kind of have to ride him out now.
Yeah, well, maybe he'll be back next week, and it should be a real barn burner against Tua.
Yeah, can't wait for that one. Next up, we got Falcons plus 3.5 at the Saints over.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Wait, what else you got?
I'm sorry, I forgot my fun bet of the week. It's out there. One of the Chargers special teams is one of the worst in the league. That's been well documented this season.
Jets aren't scoring a special teams touchdown.
You never know. Braxton Berrios is the man, baby. Braxton Berrios. So if you combine a Braxton Berrios anytime touchdown and New York Jets defensive/special teams touchdown, if he gets a punt or kick return for a touchdown, $5 will pay $842 on FanDuel. Same game parlay. Braxton Berrios is taking one to the house this weekend, Kevin. And when he does, we're going out for beer.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I like the thinking as far as hitting 2 for 1 with the punt return. So that's intriguing there. I like that. Next up,
we do it.
We got Falcons 3.5 at the Saints over under at 49. I don't know about you, but I'm staying away from this game entirely. The Saints and the Falcons, they've both been a pain in my ass this year, pretty much the entire season. I'm still going to go with the Saints as far as my pick 'em in the pool that I do. Just the unknown with Taysom Hill, kind of hard to predict. Saints defense have been playing well. Falcons have won 2 in a row. But again, I'm focusing on the props here. I like Kamara, 110.5 combined rushing and receiving yards. I think that's very tempting. I think he's going to be featured. Also, Calvin Ridley over 60.5 yards. Typically, I think that would be a no-brainer. He started the year 4 or 5 games over 100 yards. I know he's been banged up the last few weeks, but if he's 100%, I think that one's definitely going to hit.
Yeah, well, no surprise as usual. We differ entirely. I'm all on the Falcons in this one.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill, I don't personally see it. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. I thought Jameis was going to get the start, and if he was, I was leaning towards the Saints, but I'm going with Atlanta on the money line. Also going Todd Gurley to score a touchdown minus 105. Alvin Kamara over 55.5 rushing yards, and Calvin Ridley over 61.5 receiving yards.
All right, next up, maybe we'll agree on this one. Bengals 1.5 plus 1.5 at Washington over under 47.5. Redskins, one of the top rushing defenses in football. I think Chase Young is ready for his breakout game. Alex Smith coming off back-to-back 300-yard games. Almost pulled out the comeback last week against Detroit. So give me Washington on the money line here. Still no Joe Mixon for the Bengals. Back-to-back road games for Cincy as well. The last three losses for the Redskins also by combined only 7 points. So they've been playing a lot of close games. So I like the veteran late if this one is close. As far as the props go, I like McLaurin scoring a touchdown and the win at plus 220. Also, J.D. McKissick touchdown and win plus 380. I think that one's probably going to happen. And then McKissick also over 71.5 combined rushing and receiving yards.
I too love Washington, and I too love McLaurin to score and Washington to win plus 220. I think, last week they came back in close against Detroit, 59-yard field goal, crushing loss, but I think they take this one against Cincinnati. So give me Washington on the money line as well. And also with McLaurin over 73.5 receiving yards. No matter who's a quarterback, he gets the ball. And Alex Smith is definitely going to give him the ball. You saw it last week. You're going to continue to see it the rest of the season. McLaurin over 73.5.
All right, next up, and maybe it's been updated, but no props available on this one yet. I think they're still waiting to see what's going to happen with Teddy Bridgewater. I know there was an update, I think like an hour ago, that he had a good practice or a walkthrough either today or this morning. But Lions minus 2.5 at Carolina, over under set at 46.5. No McCaffrey, but like I said, Bridgewater should be a game time decision. Looks like he's going to play though. For the Lions, no Swift, no Galladay, no Amendola. Again, another game I kind of hate entirely, including the props. We'll see what happens there. If I did have to pick it, I'd probably lean with Carolina, especially if Bridgewater does play.
Yeah, I've just got a small play on Detroit on the money line, but I'm staying away from the props because, one, they're not out there yet, and two, I'm not really sure what to go with. When they come out tomorrow, you might want to look at a Marvin Hall. Maybe the receiving halls are low.
Yeah.
Numbers are low on that one because, Amendola is out, as is Galladay. So, he's going to be up to that number 2 spot behind Marvin Jones, even maybe a combination of the two of them, but they're not out yet, like you said. So Detroit on the money line, small play, but mainly I'm staying away from this one as well.
All right, next up, Pats minus 1.5 at Houston, over under at 49. Pats have been tough to figure out this year, hot and cold, but coming off a big win against Baltimore. So I'm rolling with the Pats here. Texans 26th ranked defense in points per game. Pats are 10th. Pats, right now I think they smell a shot at the playoffs. The Texans only 2 wins this year came against the Jaguars. So again, I'm rolling with Cam also scoring a touchdown here. He's pretty reliable for that. Touchdown and win pays out plus 160. I'm also leaning, I rarely go with the unders, but I'm leaning with the under for Damian Harris here, over 73.5 yards. You got Sonny Michel coming back off IR, plus Rex Burkhead. He usually steals a bunch of carries. So I feel like this is kind of, the classic backfield by committee game. Cam's probably going to have a bunch of carries as well. On the Texan side, I like Will Fuller going over 59.5. He's been pretty solid all year. And I feel like Texans are going to be throwing the ball pretty much for 4 quarters.
Yeah, the Texans are something. The only team they've beaten this season is Jacksonville. And, the last time was barely. Jake Luton almost pulled that one out.
Yeah.
But, the Patriots are playing well right now. And I'm with you with Cam plus 160 with a touchdown to win. And also just score a touchdown minus 139. I think the Patriots take this one money line all the way. I would put the Patriots all the way up to 6.5, 7 if it was there. So I gladly took New England in a couple of my parlays also by itself.
All right, next up, this one's going to be good. Eagles plus 2.5 at Cleveland. Over unders at 47.5. Just saw the weather report, before we came on the air. It's supposed to be raining all day. So I probably now lean with the under in that game. There's really, again, there's no reason to back the Eagles on this one. The Browns defense has been lights out, although their offense has only put up 16 points the last 2 weeks as well. Not really sure what's happened with Wentz and Peterson. Maybe, going back to the team that, traded away that pick might help. Who knows? But I do feel like Cleveland's going to win. As far as the props go, I'm rolling with Jalen Reagor scoring a touchdown at plus 320, over 42.5 yards as well. I think this is going to be a big game for him. As insurance, if Cleveland does win, I think it's going to be from a big day from Chubb. He ran for 126 last week against Houston in his first game back. I didn't write down what the over-under was for him. I think it was like 70.5 yards, but yeah, I was definitely betting that one. So
yeah, I have Nick Chubb over 71.5 rushing yards. I think that's free money. He destroyed Houston last week. He's going to destroy the Eagles. If Wayne Gallman is destroying the Eagles, then Nick Chubb should be destroying the Eagles. I also like Cleveland -2.5. It was -3.5, then it was -3. Today it was -2.5. I quickly nabbed that one up. Like you said, there's no reason to believe in the Eagles right now, not until they prove it. Not that the Browns have proven anything yet in my mind either. It's been a couple of sloppy games lately. The Raider game was a letdown. Houston game was a bounce back, but weather's played a factor. So we really haven't seen the real Browns, I think, in a few weeks. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll get them tomorrow. The weather should not be as bad in Cleveland, but I think they'll pull this one out by at least a field goal.
I was gonna say the weather now kind of makes me lean towards Cleveland if it's going to be a ground and pound type game. Just seeing the
Yeah.
spread at 2.5 made me think Vegas knows something that it might be Philly, because there's no reason for this to only be a field goal game. I feel like Cleveland typically should win this one easy at home.
But to the Eagles' credit, they do. While Wentz has been inconsistent or really struggled this season, their running game, right now is very strong with Boston Scott and Miles Sanders.
Yeah, that's true. All right, next up, Steelers is 10.5 at Jacksonville, over under at 46. Jacksonville has also been tough. They kind of screwed me last week with that close game against Green Bay. Jake Luton, or Luton, is that how you say it? I have no fucking clue.
Luton.
Yeah, Jake Luton. He's kept
Whatever.
them competitive in their 2 losses combined by 6 points. Again, had him with a fourth quarter lead against Green Bay last week. I do think that luck kind of runs out this week. Steelers, again, they're just playing at another level right now. No signs of slowing down. I'm buying it down to 9.5 though at -125. You can get it also at -6.5 at -185 if you think it's going to be a little closer. But I think the Steelers kind of win this one easy. My lock of the week, actually, I love this one. James Conner scoring a touchdown and winning, -115. Take that, throw it in every parlay you can. It's been a 2-week touchdown drought for him, so I think it's definitely going to end this week. I also like the over on 71.5 rushing yards for him, because I think it's going to be a lot of ground and pound in the second half. And also the Benny Snell garbage time touchdown that we talked about 2 weeks ago, plus 500 this week. Steelers, again, if they're up big in the second half, always a possibility.
You know what? I'm going to go with that Benny Snell touchdown this week as well.
Yep.
I'm also going to go Chase Claypool over 45.5 receiving yards, -134. I think that's pretty low. I think that's a given. Jacksonville's secondary is not good. Again, weather played a factor in Green Bay last week. Aaron Rodgers still pulled it off. Not that I'm, comparing Ben Roethlisberger to Aaron Rodgers, but they are, similar in a way. They're both elite quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, of course, the best in the game, I believe. Ben a little bit lower, but you know what I mean. Same difference. And in the nice Florida sun, Ben's going to tear him apart. So easily, I'll take that. Easily, I'll take the Steelers. I got them -10. I think they're going to win by 17 to 21 points. I don't know why everyone is all of a sudden on Jacksonville this week. You saw a lot of money come on them.
Yeah, yep.
It was +10.5. Now it's down to -10. That's what I got them at. So I was happy. I think at worst, that's a push, but I'm really confident Steelers take this by 17 or more.
All right, next up, Titans +6.5 at Baltimore, over under at 49.5. What am I missing on this one? The Ravens haven't really done it at all against great teams this year. They continue to be favored big in a lot of these games. I love +7.5, buying it up a point at -140. I'm throwing that in a lot of parlays. Derrick Henry scoring a touchdown also at -155. I think that's relatively low for him, who's usually a lock to score at least one. Again, I think this is going to be a competitive game, physical. Henry going over 94.5 total yards. I love that as well. I easily see him topping 100. Lamar Jackson, he struggled. Vrabel beat him last year in the playoffs, held him to 12 points. So if you even want to take the Titans on the money line, kind of tempting as well, but definitely the 6.5. I love it.
Wow, we're sharing a brain again on this one, and I was surprised that you weren't going with the Ravens on this one because you're Mr. Lamar Jackson. But
I'm off their bandwagon after last week.
Yeah, they let me down as well. They cost us both money on that one. I know. That was terrible. But yeah, I love Derrick Henry score a touchdown -150 over 86.5 rushing yards -134. Give me the Titans all the way in this one. I'm also playing them on the money line. Not anything crazy, just one solo by itself. But why should I believe in Baltimore right now? They're going to be missing Brandon Williams and Calais Campbell. Henry should be able to have a day. And we saw what Tennessee did to them last season. And why should we think that it's going to be drastically different? I know that Tennessee's defense has been inconsistent this year, really leaning towards bad at this point. But, until I see it, until I see Lamar win a big game, I'm not going to believe it. And you just can't. You can't. And, this is a big game. This is a huge game with how the AFC is. It's very tight right now. You got 9 teams with 6 wins or more. So give me Tennessee. And if I'm wrong, hey, but I believe in the Titans and I don't believe in the Ravens.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me at all if Baltimore wins, but the 6.5 number is very high.
I agree.
Next up, I know we're sharing a brain on this one. Miami 3.5 at Denver, over under 46.5. I finally jumped on the Miami bandwagon the last few weeks. Been riding the wave. It feels good.
Welcome aboard.
Doing
Welcome
magic.
aboard. I've
Feels
been
good.
on it for a while. They're the only team winning me money recently. So thank you, Miami.
It's so hard betting on Miami and the Patriots, but this is kind of a different year where it's like you don't really give a shit what the division rivals are doing.
Nope.
I
Give
bought
me
this
the
one
0
down to
16.
exactly. Bought Miami down to 2.5 at minus 160. Again, Miami playing well, 3-0 with Tua, especially with the secondary. I think it's going to be a tough day for Judy with Denver. Give me Devontae Parker scoring a touchdown on the win at plus 250. Also like Jaceki scoring a touchdown on the win at plus 380. Parker, he's had a 2-game touchdown drought. Jaceki hasn't scored since week 3, so I think one of them, if not both of them, end up scoring in a win.
Yeah, I like Tua to throw over 1.5 touchdowns. That's plus 105. I think that's a solid bet. He threw 2 last week. I think he's going to do it again. I also like Salvin Ahmad over 54.5 rushing yards, minus 112.
Salvin Ahmad.
Yeah, man, he made his debut last week as a starter and ran for 82 yards and a touchdown. So why not? Why not go with him? Because I think Miami all the way in this one. I'm with you. They're up to -4 now. Is the latest that I saw. I got them at -3.5 right before it went up to 4. Happy to get him there. And Dolphins all the way. They've been riding the Tua wave, riding the Miami wave. It took cojones to make that move. They did it. Congrats. Brian Flores is one hell of a coach. And it sucks because, right now we have such a terrible head coach and so many questions, and he is truly the future, as is Sean McDermott in Buffalo, and Jets really need to get going here. But enough of us the shitty Jets. Dolphins
Way
all
to
the way.
depress me on a Saturday night. Thanks, man.
Sorry about that.
Next up, Cowboys +7 at Minnesota, over under 47.5. Hard to pick Dallas with the state of that team right now under McCarthy. Again, especially with the number of injuries they've been dealing with. Minnesota had a kind of season-saving win last week on Monday Night Football against the Bears, 3rd win in a row for them. So I think they're riding high. The momentum's going to carry over this week. I think they're going to feed Dalvin Cook, and as long as they don't do anything stupid, easy win for them. Buying it down to 6.5 at -125. Cook over 120.5 total yards. I also like him scoring 2 touchdowns and a win on a special prop at plus 390. And Justin Jefferson, he's been hot the last few weeks, 62.5 yards. I like the over on that one as well.
2 touchdowns and a win plus 390. I'm with you all the way on that for Dalvin Cook. Also just solo by himself to score a touchdown, minus 286. And also Justin Jefferson plus 120. I think he gets back in the end zone this week. Dallas is allowing the second most receiving yards to any team in the league. I think it's going to be a great week for the Vikings. I also got a -7. Easily, they're going to win this game. I don't see this being close.
All right, we're kind of sharing a brain this week. I like it. Next up, Packers +1.5 at the Colts, over under 51.5. Packers pissed me off last week not covering that game against Jacksonville. I even bought it down to 6.5 in a few parlays. They still fucked me, only winning by 4. Tough opponent this week on the road with Indy. I'm leaning Green Bay, but I'm avoiding it in most bets except for some of the props. I love Naheem Hines going over 60.5 total yards. He's been involved in the passing game, multiple targets every single week. Last week he was also their leading rusher with 12 carries, 70 yards. Kind of seems odd, but it seems like Jonathan Taylor's in the doghouse a little bit. I know he had the fumble 2 weeks ago, so I'm all on Hines there. Also, Aaron Rodgers over 278.5, just again because he's Aaron Rodgers. It seems likely this is a close game. They're going to be throwing pretty much for 4 quarters. That's what I'm rolling with as far as the props go.
Yeah, I love the Packers, man. I don't go against Aaron Rodgers as an underdog on the road. He's pissed off. Colts are inconsistent. I'm not going to believe it until I see it from them. They came off a heck of a game against the Titans, but that's a divisional game. That's Thursday night. I'll believe it when I see it with them. When they get more consistent, that's when I'll believe it. Give me Aaron Rodgers and the Packers all the way. Give me on the money line. Give me plus 1.5. I also bought him up to +7 just in case. But, for the most part, I took him on the money line in this one. Also, Devontae Adams scored a touchdown, -134.
Smart. I like it. All right. We go to Sunday night. Chiefs -8 at the Raiders, over under at 56.5. I was lucky to get this one early at 6.5 in a parlay. I love the Chiefs. Revenge game for their only loss of the year early on to the Raiders. The Raiders won 3 in a row. But again, the best team in there was Cleveland. The other 2 were the Chargers and the Broncos. Not really much competition there. I just think an angry Chiefs team coming off a bye, pretty dangerous on prime time. So this is my favorite game that I've been throwing in a lot of parlays. 6-team, same game parlay also. Clyde Edwards-Helaire scoring a touchdown. Kelsey scoring a touchdown. Mahomes over 298.5, Chiefs cover 6.5, over 56.5. And then the lone Raider bet, Ruggs going over 34.5. You get that 6-teamer at 28-1 odds.
I got this one at plus 10,000 on FanDuel. Travis Kelce to score a touchdown. Tyreek Hill to score a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes over 298.5 passing yards. Tyreek Hill over 69.5 receiving. Travis Kelce over 74.5 receiving. Henry Ruggs over 34.5 receiving. Josh Jacobs and the Chiefs -8. $5 pays 500 on that one. It's a perfect bet in my opinion. But you know what? We'll see. I know it's a lot, but I think it's perfect. I also got the Chiefs at -6.5. Got them early in the week and then had to get them later as well. I love them in this game by 10 or more personally. I think it's a revenge game for them. The Raiders, you have 10 guys on defense who missed practice all week. 7 are back, 3 still aren't. What are they going to do? I don't think after a week of not practicing, they're going to be able to stop arguably the best offense in the league. The Chiefs made it close last time. Yeah, their defense had trouble with Oakland. Vegas. I don't think it's going to happen again. Give me the Chiefs all the way.
All right, still sharing a brain into Monday night. This one, I got a feeling we're probably going to differ. Rams +4 at Tampa, over under at 48.5. Big Rams win over Seattle last week to kind of wash away, the week before against the Dolphins. All year, I've kind of liked what the Rams have been doing. Super Bowl revenge game in a sense against Brady here. I love the +4. I'm kind of tempted on the money line as well. I'm smart enough, again, not to bet a lot against Brady, especially on Monday Night Football. The offense kind of got rolling last week, put up, 46 points. But the Rams defense, again, pretty stingy. I think Jalen Ramsey, he's going to do a number on Mike Evans. So as far as the props go, you're looking at Godwin over 61.5 yards. You got Antonio Brown at 56.5 yards, kind of like both of the overs there. For the Rams, I like Tyler Higbee going over 33.5 yards. And then even Woods at 51.5 and Kupp over 60.5. Wouldn't shock me if all three hit on the over. I think the Rams are going to be throwing all game.
Give me Tom Brady over 2.5 passing touchdowns +180. Give me the Bucks -4. Give me Chris Godwin +180 to score a touchdown. Give me Rob Gronkowski +210 to score a touchdown. Give me Antonio Brown +200 to score a touchdown. The Bucks all the way. Come on, man. The Bucks all the way. It's Monday night. They've been practicing in the dark all week. Brady's pissed off. He's going for it. You never bet the Rams ever. It's after they.
What's he still pissed off about?
Brady's coming in. He's coming in. Gronk's coming in. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it when it happens. It's the Bucks all the way. Go Bucks.
What's Brady still pissed off about? He beat the Panthers last week. That was the revenge game after he got shitted on the week before against the Saints, where they only put up 3 points.
Everyone's saying now he doesn't show up in prime time anymore. So we're gonna see.
Well, that's why, again, if I am going to bet something Monday night, the over on 48.5, because I do think the Rams are going to put up some points on Tampa. The Bucks defense the last 4 weeks have given up 101 points, so they've kind of come back to earth a little bit after Todd Bowles was getting praised. So I think the over is probably a lock there, because I think this is going to lean more towards a shootout, but we'll see what happens.
I'm telling you, Rob Gronkowski +210, Antonio Brown +200, both to score. The stars come out on Monday night.
I could see with Antonio Brown. I don't know about Gronk though. All right, going to best bets parlays. I'll start it off. I got one in play right now, a $10 bet on a 4-teamer. The Seahawks -3 already hit with the over of 47 in the Jets game. Chiefs -6.5, and then the Patriots -2.5, 10 to win 114. Another one that's also in play, DK Metcalf scoring a touchdown and a winner. That hit Thursday night. And then you got the Steelers -10, Titans 7.5, Chiefs 6.5, Eagles +10.5. Again, you buy those on the alternate spreads. You get 5 to win 96 on that one. Also, the Packers and Eagles money line over in Cincy and Washington. And then the Titans buy it up to 7.5, 5 to win 88. And the last one, Rams 7.5 with the over 48.5. Titans 10.5, Jets 10.5, Steelers -6, 10 to win 105. But again, that was the one I did before Flacco.
Nice. My parlay of the week is +629. It's a 14 parlay. I got Miami on the money line, Kansas City -6.5, Vikings buy it down to -6.5, Packers buy it up to +7. Again, that's +629 odds. Also, I like a 17 parlay plus 3,817 odds. Atlanta on the money line, Washington money line, New England money line, Miami money line, Minnesota money line, Green Bay money line, Kansas City money line. And again, Braxton Berrios to score a touchdown, and the Jets defense / special teams to score a touchdown. Same game parlay. $5 pays 842. Go and do it, people. Braxton Berrios scores this week, and we are going out and celebrating.
I'll put 50 cents on it to win 100. That's all I could do.
All right.
I got to get the Vikings. I got to get the Vikings and Washington and some more parlays.
One of my favorite parlays, just overall player bets of the week would be, again, Derrick Henry over 86.5 rushing yards, minus 134. I think that's free money with injuries to the Ravens front seven on defense.
Wouldn't you prefer the 94.5 combined, the rushing and receiving? Because he kind of gets used a little bit in the passing game also.
I mean, I think he'll get that just in rushing, so you could go that route as well. I think, I'd take both of them. Why not?
Yeah. All right. So that'll do it. Again, 11 weeks in the book, 7 more to go. Talk to you again next week.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's go Mets. Stevie Cohen era. The only thing I got to look forward to.
No.